Hi there, welcome. My name is Jack Rome, and on behalf of the Center for Awakening, I'm glad to welcome you to Meet the Speaker, a live series with speakers from the upcoming 3-day online immersive conference, Awaken Stillness, The End of Dreaming, taking place from November 8th to 10th. This series is designed to give you a brief taste of the direct experience that you can expect from each session during the conference. Dan Schmidt serves as director, producer, screenwriter, narrator, editor, and provides the original music score and imagery for Awakening Mind films. As a meditation and self-inquiry facilitator and filmmaker, he is the creator of the award-winning film Inner Worlds, Outer Worlds, and the ongoing Samadhi film series. With his not-for-profit Awaken the World initiative and Samadhi Center in Ontario, Canada, Dan combines self-inquiry with traditional forms of meditation so we can have the opportunity to realize our transcendent nature and purify ourselves of conditioned patterns. Also, the human vessel becomes permeable to our true nature. Dan's conference session is titled Making the Unconscious Mind Conscious, Creating the Conditions for Awakening to Arise. His session will allow participants to set aside 5 hours for progressive stages of continuous, single-pointed self-inquiry, creating conditions of no escape for the egoic mind. So, Dan, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. With the time we have today, can you please give us a taste of your session by perhaps encapsulating some of that teaching for us to give us that teaser and that taste?
Sure. Thanks, Jack. This session is really going to be an opportunity on November 8th to dive deeply into the kind of sadhana that we do in our longer online retreats. So we're going to be doing exactly what we do at those retreats during the 5 hours. And part of that is going to be working in dyads, or it really depends how many people show up as well. There'll be small groups possibly as well. I think we have a limit of 100 people that we can do in breakout rooms. But we'll be working in these small groups, and it's kind of like doing inquiry or meditation with a partner, where one person will be doing the inquiry, and then however many others are there, they'll be witnessing, and they'll say, "Tell us who you are," and then the person doing the inquiry will start to inquire directly into their true nature. And when we do this kind of inquiry, of course, the conditioned mind is there. At the beginning, what we see is the conditioned mind. We'll see this phenomena that starts coming up, bubbling up from the unconscious, which we sometimes call these samskaras, or these conditioned patterns that we hold in the unconscious. So this is a way to kind of clear the mind, as it says in the title, making the unconscious conscious. So we in this technique, the way it works is we have this intention to directly experience our true nature, to really know ourselves. In that moment where we inquire directly into our true nature, this is what I'm going to try and convey today, because this is something we could sort of practice leading up to the event. How do I directly inquire into my true nature? When I do this direct inquiry, part of the technique will be to just report what comes up in the mind body as a result of that direct inquiry. But how do I do a direct inquiry? What is that? I like to call this sometimes a practiceless practice, because there is no doing. So this is the crazy paradox, or the thing that the mind has to learn, which is to give up to give up its control or give up its seeking, give up its doing. So what we're going to be doing, these partners that we're with, they're going to say, tell us who you are. We want to know who you are. So you inquire directly into your true nature. And direct means really direct. So the mind that looks, the mind that searches, is not it. The mind actually will get very confused in this process. The mind, it's almost like a Zen koan. It's designed to frustrate the mind. It's designed for the mind to fail. So the mind can't do it. The mind has to give up. So when we say, tell us who you are, if the mind moves to find the answer, it's going to fail. It's just going to come up with concepts or ideas. So when we give up that seeking, that searching, we just allow the mind to be a don't know mind. Maybe the mind will be frustrated. Maybe it'll be confused. Maybe it'll become still. Maybe it'll just give up. Maybe it'll become very still. And in that stillness, who remains? Who are you that's there in that stillness? And that's it. So we inquire directly, and the mind will come up with all kinds of little tricks, to try and find something. So, we might be there in the moment, letting go of the mind, but then, it's like the mind will want to fill the silence. It'll look to some memory or some teaching, whatever resides in the mind, or sometimes the mind is hoping for something to happen. It wants some state. Maybe we've experienced an awakening or a Samadhi state or something. So the mind will start looking for that. It'll check and see, okay, am I in the awakened state now? All of that. The mind, whatever the mind thinks it's looking for, the awakening is not that, because the Samadhi state is not a memory. It's always in the now. So whatever's in the mind just is full of memories and past experiences. So we have to let go of all of that. And this practice, this process is really training the mind to let go, because the mind is so habituated to controlling and doing and seeking. So part of this practice is just the surrender. You could call it self-surrender. We're letting go. So this is something we can practice. This practiceless practice. There's nothing to do but recognize how this mind is just pathologically doing, seeking, wanting something other than what is in this moment. So that's a little taste of what we're in for at this conference.
Well, Dan, thank you so much for taking us through that and giving us that taste and that teaser. I'm really excited for this, and I've obviously gotten to have some back and forth conversations with you in the past and learned through Bill Free about dyads and how they work, and it's incredibly potent. Just in the little bit that I've gotten to experience from Bill, like showing me, what it's like, and it's really. I remember describing it to him as like that. It's just the best. It's just the best because just how it's amazing. So really grateful for your time today, and really looking forward to your session during the conference. It's going to be quite something. So thank you again so much for being here today. So, and to everybody that's listening now or later, we hope that you'll join us at the Awaken Stillness Conference. Again, it's November 8th to 10th. For more direct experience teachings, and for us to really dig deep into what this teaching is, just like Dan was saying, like, what is that inquiry really like? What are you really doing or perhaps not doing? for this inquiry and for this self-surrender. You can register for free at centerforowakening.org, and we hope to see you there. So thank you so much, everybody. Thanks, Dan. Really appreciate your
Thanks,
time.
Jack. Yeah, thanks. Bye
All
bye.
right. Take care.